Hello, replay watchers. Hello, everybody. Let us know when you can hear us.
Let us know.
Let me know when you can hear me. Let me know when you can hear me. My little weird song.
I love it. It's the best way to come in.
I don't know what to do, man. It's like, for 5, 10, 15 seconds, it doesn't say.
Yep.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear us? They can hear and see us. Hello, everybody.
I don't want to see my camera.
There we go. As you can see, I did go the right way. We have Frizzy B tonight. Yay! I'm so excited. I know, I'm so excited. I need to turn this down because it sounds like I'm yelling. There we go. Oh, Lord. I have to wear this earbud thing we were just talking about. It's so irritating.
Yeah.
Anyway, audio and visual. Thank you, Granny D.
Right.
Oh, I'm so excited to have Frizzy on. If you guys are not subscribed to Frizzy, you know I only talk to real people, right? So this is a person that you can go and hang out with and not have to worry about the drama. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So
save the drama for your mama.
Save the drama for your mama. Exactly.
Hi,
And
Michael.
Stop yelling at me. I don't write this earbud, man. It's loud. Anyways, so go over and check out Frizzy. She is so incredibly talented. I'm going to give you just a real brief list. I got a little bit of housekeeping to do. And I also wanted to let you guys know I am going to do a giveaway tonight because it's my mama's birthday. And so we're going to do a giveaway at the end. Okay. So, and we'll just put up a word and, that kind of thing. And so we will do that at the end, but that's to celebrate my mama's birthday. But tonight it's all about Frizzy. So that's what we're going to concentrate on. So anyways, first of all, she crochets like the rest of us do. She's working on some wearables and things like that. Her main thing is amigurumi, and she's like out of this world with the amigurumi, guys. I mean, it's incredible. She's so good at amigurumi. The next thing is that she's an author. She writes children's books. She's an artist. I mean, she does a lot of crafts like I do, like she's into cross stitch and things like that too. She used to do junk journals and, all of the same things I used to do. We're very much alike. And, but her channel is basically on crochet, amigurumi, and her books. Now, if someone wanted to get one of your books, where would they get them?
So I'm actually, I just got the rights back to my books. It's the Tales of Whimsy series. And so I'm going to be re-releasing them soon. Hopefully, I'm hoping by the end of the year. So I'll have the summer to kind of catch up since my daughter's been homeschooling with me. And so it's been taking a lot of my time, but I am trying to get them back out again. They'll have all new cover designs. I have the original ones here just to show you, but they have new covers coming. And then I have a third book that's also going to be coming out.
Oh my gosh, I want them so bad.
Yeah.
So bad.
So this, if you buy them now, it doesn't support me specifically. It supports whoever gets that. And so if you wait, it will come out. Everything's going to be under Frizzy B. I've created it as a business. I have my own LLC as Frizzy B, so why not? We're just going to town. So
yeah, there you go. I'm an LLC too. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So just make it easy,
Okay, so you'll make some kind of announcement or something when it goes down. Okay.
All the things. Yes, everything will be announced.
How does one even start doing something like that, Frizzy B? Desi wants to know. Well, if you're, an artist, which she is, and, literature, if you're into that, I mean, you put those two together, there you go. And like I said, she is a multi-talented lady. And I really, really enjoy going over to her lives. I don't get to go to everybody's stuff as much as I'd like because I'm crazy busy. You guys know how nuts I am. And it's hard for me to focus. But a lot of times, a lot of times I'm listening. I'm just not in the chat. So you will totally enjoy her lives. She's a lot of fun. And like she said, she's got kids that are running around sometimes. She's got her daughters
on me, as today we had that.
Yeah, exactly. So, anyways, yeah. So you guys need to go over and subscribe to Frizzy B. Zoila just dropped the link. Do
Thank
you like to
you.
be called Juliana or do you like to be called like Julie?
So my name is Julianne. It's
Oh,
yeah,
Julianne. That's a good
Julianne
name.
is my name. I think, oh, it didn't show up on here. Sometimes they have the title and it shows me on my little picture thing down here.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
was gonna say, yeah, there's nothing
it,
there.
it's Julie Ann, and the E that you'd normally put after the I goes at the end.
There we go. Okay.
So yeah, you can call me Julianne. You can call me Frizzy. Some people call me Frizz Julie. That's
I
Granny.
call you
That one.
Frizzy all the time, so yeah.
Yeah, so call me whatever you like.
Don't say that.
I know.
Good
That's
Lord.
true, right? Never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, we're out here in public, man. Don't say that.
Take that one right back.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, well, let me get done with this housekeeping, and then Frizzy's going to show us some of her makes and stuff. And like she said, she'll be announcing when you can purchase her books and how and all that stuff on her channel, which I am dying for. I was looking for them, and I was like, man, I know there's got to be somewhere to get them.
Right.
So I figured I'd wait and ask you when she got on here.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, like I said, today's Mama's birthday. Everybody called her Tutu. And we are going to do a giveaway at the end to celebrate my mama's heavenly birthday. I wanted everyone to know I haven't mailed anything because of numerous vet bills. My fancy pants had to have major surgery. It was very expensive. I had a lot going on this month. So I apologize if you're expecting something from me, but me and Mark are going to be working on it the next couple days. So my plan is tomorrow to put up a video for the replay winners that I still have sitting here, and then I can get everything out at once. Okay. All right. The next thing I want to tell you is I finally put up the tutorial for the poncho. It's got Mark named it the DD poncho because my mama used to call me DD. So the DD poncho's out there. It's absolutely horrible.
What?
Oh man, oh geez. Soon as I started doing the tutorial, Mark mows the grass right outside the window where I'm at. Then the next time I'm filming, he starts sawing wood.
He didn't get the memo, D. He didn't get the memo.
He did not. I did tell him. And I'm like, I'm going to do a video. He's like, I'm going to do tutorial. Okay. Goes out and starts mowing grass. I'm going to do a tutorial. Goes out and starts sawing wood. I'm going to do a tutorial. He lets the puppies out of the cage and leaves. So they're fighting in the background. I'm like, oh my God. I was
like, are you trying to make this a chaos channel?
I know, right, man? I was like, oh my God, is it going to be like this anytime I try to do this kind of thing? But anyways, the tutorial's out there. Also, the Hippy Dippy Poncho contest is out there. Watch it for the rules and for the prizes for grand prize winner and honorable mention if you want to get involved. And I'd really appreciate it if you guys did. I think this is so cool. Okay. Also, too, I've been mentioning it, but I'm going ahead with it. Obviously, I've been dyeing some yarn last night. That is what I got dyed last night. I am going to do the dib sale for the exact reason I just got done telling you. Kind of need to recoup my money that I spent on that yarn. You know me, I'm just straight up. I'm just forthcoming. So that's the deal. I've got to do a dib sale whether I like it or not. Maybe I'll take my break the following month. Because sometimes it gets a little hectic, especially this month's kind of a month for me. So, but due to the fact of all the vet bills and all the other things that I won't get into that has happened this month, I'm eating peanut butter and jelly. So I've got to recoup some money, man. I got to at least get my money back on my yarn that I spent. So there's that. Okay. And then also I wanted to remind everybody, last but not least, Ganny Joe goes live after us. Okay, after we're done here tonight, Ganny Joe goes live. So we're going to do a D-rate over to Ganny Joe. Okay? All right, so cool. All right, so that's all the housekeeping stuff. I'm going to call winners tomorrow. Get a hold of me if you're a winner. Get a hold of me as soon as possible so I can get everything out of here because I got a big old bunch to send out. And I apologize for the lateness of it, but
there's the troublemaker.
There's the troublemaker. And you know what? He's getting ready to go out and saw wood, so don't be surprised. Yeah, he's cutting the trim for the bathroom we've been redoing.
You're whittling and a piece flicks and gets in your hair. It's just
you just don't even know this man. He's a hot mess. I swear. It's like Oh, you're gonna do a tutorial? Great. Let me start the mower.
Right. Oh my gosh.
Jeez.
Oh,
Calgon, take me away, as my mom used to say. Okay. All right, so the dip sale is going to be May 5th, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, first Thursday of the month, as usual. If you don't get paid till after and you do want to purchase, just get a hold of me ahead of time. Let me know what's up. Like, D, I can pay you next week. Give me a date and we'll stick to that date. So I'm cool with that. As long as you let me know ahead of time. Don't just surprise me with it or ghost me, because that makes it hard on me. So,
yeah.
okay. All right, there we go. Zoila just dropped my tutorial. I can't even believe I did it. It's all due to Michael. Really, honestly, Mama G's been trying to talk me into it forever, like giving me all these ideas and stuff. And she does her little tutorial. What does she call them? I forget what she calls them. My brain just went. Anyways, which is what happens about 900 times a day.
Yeah.
Anyways, Mama G's been trying to talk me into this forever, and I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, I'll get to it. Yeah. And then Michael came at me with a different approach, and I thought, you know what, he's right, because I was thinking, no matter what I do, it's already been done.
Right, but it hasn't been done by you.
Yeah, and that's kind of the mindset he gave me. So thank you, Mama G. Thank you, Michael, so much for pushing me. It's a horrible tutorial. Oh my gosh. Unconventional
I have to
tutorials.
go watch it now, D. I doubt it's as horrible as you think it is. But
oh my gosh. I messed up so many times. Oh my
God. First tutorials, and you just ripped off the Band-Aid. Now you can make lots more for us to watch.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. I just, like I said, I was like, oh, I don't know. Everybody's done everything, but then Michael said, yeah, D, but there's certain people, and he's right. There's certain people you watch your tutorials and stuff, and you don't like their voice, or you don't like the way they hold their hook, or you can't, whatever. And I also decided, because I thought that I needed to absolutely teach, like the single crochet, the half double crochet, the double crochet, and that would take so much longer, and I'm just afraid I'd mess it up and all that. And I decided, you know what, I'm just going to do it for people who already know how to do those things. And then that nervousness is gone. So I hope you guys enjoy it. And to me, it's a hot mess, but everybody seems to be liking it. So, whatever. Okay, enough about me. Let's talk about you. So what's going on with you, girl?
Oh my gosh. So many things. My friends on the channel know I am Frizzy most days. That is such a good name for me. So I'm just all over the place. If I don't have a kid like climbing on my back, or a cat pawing at me to look at them, then I sometimes get a crochet hook in my hand, which is always fun. So I've been working on some Yip Yip earrings, which I know I mentioned I was going to try to finish them. I did not get a chance. But this is
oh my gosh, those are so cute.
So I have to do more tassels on his backside, and then I'm working on the pink one. And
are you selling those? Are you selling those?
I wasn't intending to. I was just trying to finish these two.
I would absolutely love to have a pair of those. Oh my god,
maybe I'll just send you one.
Those are so freaking cute. I love the Yip Yips.
This is why, you guys, this is why it's not done. Look at it, ripped the little string as I was pulling it, because sometimes lots of tension, and with these little cotton, it's only 2 strands, it just, so we have to, he has a whisker right
exactly.
Shrimp. So anyway, I'll fix it.
Oh, those are so cute.
So yeah, they'll be cute, and so we'll just string them up when we're done. And then most recently, I made this little guy, which he's all wired up. This is the Tiny Chef. Have you seen him on Instagram?
Oh my god, I don't go on Instagram very often, but
he got his adorable, and he is the cutest little thing. I absolutely adore him.
I love that. That would be something cute to set in your kitchen. You know what I'm saying? That's
all. Hat comes off. And,
I love it.
So I do have a pattern. I'm gonna test it myself, and who knows, maybe I'll put it out for pattern testers, but I'll probably test it and then get it out there. I kind of want to make him in blanket yarn, but then not put wiring in, so he could be like a snuggly guy,
Yeah, but it'd be a lot bigger if you put blanket yarn.
A lot bigger, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so I've got tutorials on my channel. There's the giant squarish Frizzy, and this is Mizu, who's actually the blue gal. She's actually a character from my Tales of Whimsy books. So you meet her in book 2. So she's actually like a water elemental. That's why she kind of looks teardrop sort of
Oh
shape.
yeah. Oh, that's super cute.
Yeah, so I like to marry my crafts, if you will. I like to cross pollinate is another word I like to use.
Cross pollinate. That's perfect for Frizzy bee.
Right. So yeah, I usually will crochet up my storybook characters. And so I've made up like another book that I want to get out there. And this will be down the line, but another book that I did, it's called Adeline and the Mystic Berries. And so she was one of the first that I designed. You can see the dust.
Oh, adorable.
But she has crow's feathers on her dress because she makes things with them. And that's her little pal Aspen. He's a little white bat that hangs out with her. And
I love that.
From the book as well. He looks great. He's got so much dust on his head, poor guy.
You're like me. You don't like the dust.
I know, right?
I hate dust.
Yeah. But that's what I do. I love to just, take something from my brain and make it come.
Oh my God.
Roland.
You're so good at that. Oh my gosh.
But he's in the Whimsy books too. And that way, those of us, especially my thought was always that if you're a parent or if you're a grandparent and you were wanting to buy the books for your grandkids or your nieces or nephews or whoever, you could then have access to the patterns because a lot of these are tutorials up on the channel. And so you can just follow along and you can gift the
Oh, that's cute.
Characters. It would be really fun,
Oh, that's an excellent idea. I love that. Yeah. Oh my gosh, those are adorable. I love that little girl, especially the one with the bat in her pocket. Yeah. Yes. Oh my God, I love her. And she makes things with crow's feathers.
So yeah. So she starts off in a very drab world that has no color. And so she ends up finding the last bit of magic that is there.
I have hair on my face
too much, but she has to work with the colors that she has, which are just the tans and blacks and brown and just very lacking.
She's adorable. I love that one.
But yeah. He has a crow friend. His name is Raven, and he picks his tail feathers and plucks them out and gives them to her. And she uses them on her dresses and tells him, "You better stop plucking them out, or he's not going to have any left." So
that's super cute. Oh my gosh. Okay, and now what's inspired you to start writing books?
So when I lived in Florida, when I was first, trying to get with he's now my husband, but back then when we were dating, I should say, he was in Florida. So I moved out that way and I wasn't working for a long time. And I was constantly crocheting and I was on Etsy one day and I looked and there was this gal that would upcycle different sweaters. She would take them and she would cut them up and create these beautiful Technicolor witchy looking beautiful hooded coats, like almost like a dress coat, if you can imagine it, with the big arms and just beautiful colors.
My style. Yeah,
exactly. And I was just this idea for Adeline's story came into my head about how it would be to be somebody who's artistic in a world that has no color. And so that's what got me starting to write this idea down. My husband's like, "You got to write this down, and I was like, "Nah, I don't think I'm a writer or anything," but I did. I started writing it down and it's, it just was the whole whirlwind came after that. Got into writing picture books, took a Storyteller Academy course, and learned about the ins and outs of picture book writing. I've queried agents. I've had interest from agents with books. I had a publisher for Adeline. It was a bad experience, but it's kind of soured me to some of the traditional routes. Not that people can't go that way. But for me personally, I think just taking that control back and being able to put out there what I make, and it's
It's the
all under
same,
my name.
you know, it's the same way in like the music industry. As soon as you give
Yeah.
somebody, you know, control, they just take over your
Yeah,
stuff. So it's best just
exactly.
to stick with your own. Yeah, good for you. I'm
Yeah.
glad you're getting it back
I
because
got
some
it
people
back. Yep.
don't. Some
Yeah,
people don't,
I
and they
know.
get really screwed out of it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Yeah, because
that's awesome.
yeah, so that's my big dream. And then through that, I've met so many, amazing people, and people have heard that I've been that I'm an author illustrator. And so a friend of mine, Kim from Fortunate Creations, Kim, Coffee with Kim,
Yeah, yeah.
she wrote a storybook that's called The Adventures of Bravo. And it's about this little rainbow sort of colored little wiggly worm. And so she was trying to use AI and was having a rough time of it. And so I started chatting with her about the business of things, and we started talking about Bravo. And I and I was like, well, let me just doodle up a few. And that's kind of what got it started. But now I'm like her business manager, and I'm
That's
the
cool.
illustrator and the designer. And so that's another project that's in the works as well.
That's cool. Yeah, the same way
So,
with that I am. You know, it's like I'll help anybody do anything pretty much. You know, it's like
yeah,
you need help, I got the time. Oh, what do you need? You
yeah.
know, so
I don't
that's
have
cool
the
that you're
time, but
helping.
I'm making the time
Yeah, sometimes you have to do
to
that. Yeah.
prioritize my time.
But
But yeah,
that's so cool that you're helping her. That's so nice of
yeah,
you. I have
yeah,
a hair going across my eyelashes or something. It's driving me nuts. So what's new, right?
yeah,
It always
right.
happens to me. Yeah,
Oh,
as you were talking, I heard Mark. He's running a screw gun right out this wall, right up over this wall. Yeah. So don't be surprised if you don't hear Mark running screw guns. I can't stop this man. He's
yeah.
just
And he knows you're
focused.
live. He walked in and he waved, just so we know
Yes,
he's
he
there.
knows. Yes, he knows. It
Oh my
doesn't matter.
goodness.
He just must think of that. It's isolated wherever I'm
Yeah,
at. And
he, he's in a
jeez.
bubble.
Yes, he's in his own bubble. Frizzy, I love the way Dahlia Ladybug you made,
Oh, the darling. I think it was Darling Ladybug Darling.
darling.
I had made so Granny D got a version of this little ladybug that I designed.
Oh
And
yeah, I seen it.
yeah,
Yes.
so hers is more it's like a mint color and a pink tone.
Yep, I seen that. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's another thing I love to do is just make them big, make them small, make them mini. I'm
That's
wanting to
so
do that
cute.
so that you get like choices and people can decide, because not we all like different things. We all like different hook sizes, different types of yarn. So it's kind of
Yeah.
nice when you're looking at a pattern, I think, to see all the different variations of what it could be and then choose your own direction of where you want to go with it.
Yeah, I'm not much into the blanket yarn because of my wrists, you know, like
Mhm.
any big yarn, I have a hard time with. It hurts my wrists. A lot of
Yeah.
people said it hurts their hands. It doesn't hurt my hands, it hurts my wrists. I don't
Yeah.
know why that is, but so I stick with smaller yarn, just and a lot of people say small yarn hurts their hands. So we're all different, you know. You just
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. Then you get into the floss yarn, the little thread yarn. And you're just like, what was I thinking?
Yeah. Thread yarn. Wow. Yeah.
But it's fun. I mean, this isn't my character that I didn't design this character, but I mean, I've shown him on my channel before, but this
Oh,
is all thread
so cute.
yarn.
Oh,
So
you do
just a little,
such a good job and they're so adorable, man.
so I love little
I want
things.
to see. I want to see that bee back there.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I love me bees.
Oh, yeah. So this
Look
is
at it.
my
Oh, it's so cute.
he's originally I made him as a pattern that's called the be present, so not forgetting to be present. And so he was a square bee, very square bee that had an actual foam cube inside. And so he didn't have feet, he didn't have antennae either. He was a square, and he has a bow shaped wings. So then I made a bigger version. It is still the same pattern, and both versions have tutorials, so if you guys want to make one. go to town.
Yeah.
He's got multiple choices to go with, but just added antenna, little feet, and then this is
Oh,
Frizzy.
so cute. I
Yeah,
love that. I got a thing for bees, about my granddaughter and all that.
I love
Hello, everybody coming in. I'm sorry, I can't do both. So, hello, everybody. I don't mean to disregard anyone. We're so glad you're here. And like I said, if you're just coming in, because I see a lot of new people, this is Frizzy B, and she is so talented. You need to go over and subscribe to her. Honestly, you will absolutely adore her, and she's real. She's real, folks. She's a real person.
Thank you.
I don't say that about everybody. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like to stick with the real folks. So,
yeah.
oh, let's
Gotta,
see.
gotta
The
be the
bee is
start
so adorable.
sometimes, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, and I can get a little snarky, so I have to be careful with myself too. I'm just working on knitting a dress on my knitting machine.
You could
Awesome,
do a
Heidi.
on one of those, huh? I guess that makes sense. It's a tube.
Yeah, you can also do panels. You just go all the way around, stop, go back the other way, and do it
Yeah.
like that and make actual panels. Mark was messing with that. That's how I found that out. I don't know. He's
I
always
didn't
playing with
even
that
know.
machine. Yeah.
Yes, I am on Ravelry. You will find me on Ravelry. So I'm trying to get off of Etsy for many reasons, and I know most people here know how
No, yeah, we all know.
so
Yeah, they drain you.
yeah, I have my own website as well. So frizzyb.com is my website. I have a Hive shop there, so you can shop for things. Thank you guys. I saw some new subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing.
That's awesome. Yay.
Yeah.
That's what we want. We want everybody to go over and subscribe. That's what we want. That's awesome.
Yeah. So, and then on Ravelry, I like Ravelry. I like having my own site. So that's why I'm kind of steering off of Etsy. I'll probably just close it down at some point. I just, everything's AI on there now. So just like,
I know. Wow. That AI stuff, it's like when I look at those pictures of AI crochet, I know immediately. Like they think they're fooling people. It's like it's too freaking perfect. It's too perfect.
Yeah. If you really start to look at the stitches,
yeah.
If you zoom in, look up close, you're like,
yeah,
that ain't
possible. No, that's not possible with a human hand. Sorry. Yeah.
Exactly.
Jennifer Redgate's making her first pair of socks.
That's exciting.
I have never made a pair of socks. Have you? No, I have never done. It's intimidating. That heel thing intimidates me.
Yeah, exactly. Although I think some people just make a giant tube, I think, and then you can just kind of put your heel where it wants to be.
Yeah, well, that's exactly my friend Antoinette Lasagna. I always say her last name wrong, but she knows she'll laugh at me. But anyway, she made me a pair of socks out of my hand-dyed yarn, which was so unbelievable. Yeah. And she goes, okay, it's going to take me a while because of this heel thing. And I was like, forget the heel, make me a tube sock, And she was like, you know what, Dee, I never thought about that. I don't have to do heels, do I? I go, no, you do not. Tube socks are good with me, man.
Oh, heck yeah.
Thank you, Zoila. She's dropping your website and everything.
Thank you.
There are flatbed knitting machines, more easily used, different options than circular.
Interesting.
Oh, nice to know, Karen. Thank you.
Yeah. Very cool. Yeah, I can knit. I can knit and purl. Those are about the two things I can do.
I ain't even trying. No, not even going to try. We were talking about this before the live. It's like we start a craft. She's the same way as me. I got to have everything that goes with that craft, every tool, every kind of book, and then I end up spending $1 million only to make a couple items and go, I don't really like this.
Yeah, well, I've been tracking recently, so I got into junk journaling. So this is like my pride and joy right here. This is
I love junk journaling. Yeah, that's cute.
Out of a nerd box. And I did all the things. I did all the distressing and all that jazz. And I bought probably more than $300 worth of stuff for selling. And now I'm selling a lot of it on Facebook Marketplace because I'm like, I don't got time for this. I have too many
I know.
crafts. I got too
I
many
know.
things.
I have literally taken truckloads of stuff out of I have another room that's I call my craft room because that's
Yeah.
all my basket and sewing and painting and resin and all that stuff's in the other room. This is my yarn room.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, that room got to a point where I couldn't even walk. Like it was ridiculous. Like I'm turning into a hoarder here or something, you know? And
Yeah.
so I started sending truckloads to my granddaughters. Like
Oh my
this
God.
one told me she was into painting. Good, here you go.
Yeah, don't
Here's
buy
a whole truckload. Yeah.
She hears beeping. It's like a pod coming.
That's about it too. And it was like not to back a while back, you know, because I do a lot of beading, you know, obviously. And you know, I used to do the real intricate beadwork, you know, like the Native American
Yeah.
beadwork. And I find I can't do that, and I can't do diamond painting anymore. My vision just doesn't allow it. So I'm doing bigger stuff, you know, like the bracelets I make and things like that. But I had, without a doubt, 10,000 pounds of beads. I'm taking a wild guess, no joke. Like a whole wall to the ceiling of containers, big containers of beads. And so I sold some, and then I thought, you know what, it's just too hard for me to show them.
Right.
So I asked my granddaughters, and 3 of my granddaughters said, I'll take some beads. They had no idea. I sent 55-gallon garbage bags that Mark could not even carry. He had to use one of those dollies to carry it out to the truck. I said, here you go.
And you shall receive. Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah, I had to. It's like, oh my God, I can't even walk in here. This is out of control, man.
Well, and I used to have a craft-ish room, and then my husband he works from home, and so just worked out that the best place, he's also a musician, plays, I don't know, he's got like 20 guitars or something. But anyway.
Oh, cool. I love that.
Yeah, he found that
I'm a music freak. I'm a total music freak. Yes.
Phantom Shade, if anybody wants to look. That's my
Phantom Shade. I'm gonna write that
down. But yeah, so he kind of took over what was my craft room. Now it's the music studio, you know, and so I'm kind of in a part of our room. So I created the calyx wall that I saw on IKEA, calyx wall on Pinterest, you know, to create my space. But it gets messy very quickly because it's so small, you know. And
the problem I have is like okay, like when you walk in my craft room, the left wall is to the ceiling cubes for basket weaving. Then next to, you know, and it's probably 10 foot wide. And then another 5 foot is cubes filled with fabric for my sewing. Then you go to this wall. This wall is all canvases, painting, books, resin. Oh my gosh, I got so much resin. I need to get in there and actually use this stuff. Anyways, and then if you go this way, it's all my wood stuff because I wood burn and, you know, I make things out of wood. So that's all that. Then you go around here, and this is beads and beads and beads and my sewing machine and paint and
so
paint to the ceiling.
You sew like clothes and everything?
Yeah, I made all my kids' clothes until they went to junior high. As soon as they hit junior high, they were disinterested. Like they didn't, Mom, no, I want store-bought clothes, you know, no more of that. I must have made 500 pair of MC Hammer pants, no joke. You remember those guys?
Yes. I had a pair and I wore it to a middle school dance, and they were like flowing, kind of silkish, but they were super.
Yeah.
And I had somebody was like, "Oh my God, those are total hammer pants." I'm like, "Yeah, you're kind of right."
Yeah.
Before I wore them to the dance, you know.
I know. I made for all my kids. I made them so, you know, obviously they probably had 10 pair of them a piece, but also all of their friends. So it was funny because we had this little neighborhood, and every teenager or almost teen, preteen in the neighborhood was walking down the street with my MC Hammer pants on. It was like our little neighborhood was MC Hammer pants. You know? Yeah, funny.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I've been buying up a bunch of fabric because my next thing is that I want to make some bags, like crochet bags, but do inner linings that are fabric.
Yeah.
Started buying really pretty fabrics. And with that, since, with Joann's closing, I've had to buy a lot more fabric than I would have. You have to
Yeah.
2 yards, or this one came with 4.5, And
Exactly.
yeah, so I'm like, okay, I think I'm going to do lounge pants or PJ pants, something like that. So my kids will end up with those. At least then they wear them at home. Then I don't have to worry about them feeling embarrassed.
Yeah. Like I made all of my kids' clothes, like everything
Yeah.
but their winter coats. Like
Yeah.
I made everything but their shoes and their underwear and their winter coats. Other than that, I made all the pants, dresses, shirts, pajamas. I made it all. And then they got to junior high and it was like, no, mom, no, we want, they want the cool stuff. No, I need Nike tennis shoes and I
Yeah.
need, whatever. I'm like, yeah, you getting a job? Because those are
Right.
expensive.
Oh,
But yeah, and when I was a kid, I used to help my mom and my grandma quilt and my aunt, a little bit my aunt, but more my grandma and my mom. And my grandma, I threaded all the needles and stuck them in her lampshade so she could do her stuff when I wasn't there, when I was in elementary.
Yeah.
And then my mom, I would help, lay out the quilts and stuff. But to actually quilt the stuff together, I've never done that.
Yeah.
So just recently, I'm so overly excited. I can't even stand it. I had a top of a quilt that my aunt made me before she passed away. And it's super cool. It's hippy dippy. It's rainbows and I love it.
Yes.
Anyways, I don't know how to quilt. So it's been sitting in there forever and it's a king size. Okay.
Ooh.
So then my mom was making me a quilt. And it had hot air balloons. If you guys know, I love hot air balloons. I got them tattooed all over my back. It was a thing between me and my uncle. We were supposed to go hot air ballooning. We scheduled it. We were ready to go. And he had a heart attack and passed. And so I never got to go. So I got this thing about hot air balloons. And one day I'm going to take one. I'm going to spread some of his ashes when I'm up there. They may not know that, but that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Anyways, so my mom was making me a quilt with hot air balloons on it. And it was all done except for the quilting part. So that's been sitting in there. Then there was one she was making for herself. And then I found one my grandma made from the threads that I threaded her and put in the lamp.
Oh my gosh.
I sent them all to Patricia Walker, Crystal the Yarning Chicken Crazy Cat Lady's Mima. And she's quilting them for me.
Oh, how exciting.
I mean, she did my grandma's one first, the one I threaded the needles, and she did it, and she showed it to me. The only thing she had left to do was the edge, and I bawled my eyes out. Like, I never thought I would see all of these finished.
Yeah.
It's so cool, man.
Don't you need or maybe there are ones that can kind of automatically do certain patterns and stuff. But I'm wondering, like, can you do that with a regular machine as well? Can you?
My grandma used to, but how she did it, I don't know. That's the thing. They never taught me that part of it. Like I can put the squares together. I could do. The only thing even close to that I ever did was take yarn and go into take the parts and put them together and do the corners and tie a little knot. That's the closest to quilting I ever got. But I wanted these actually quilted, and Patricia Walker's doing it for me.
Yeah.
The reason I brought that up is because you talked about Joann's and the fabric. I got an entire, those big bolts that they have on the wall and you pull out what you need.
Yeah.
The big one?
On the roll, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like a 6-foot long roll. I got the backing, it's just off-white backing, like parchment color kind of backing roll. It was normally $7.99, marked down to 80 cents a yard. Marked down in half of that, I paid 40 cents a yard. So for less than $15, I got 42 yards.
Oh my gosh. What are you going to use that for?
I'm sending it to Patricia to do the backs of the quilts.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes, I was so happy. Yeah.
That's exciting. Yeah, I know. I was kind of confused by, they have signs upon signs that cover signs, So I was like, wait. Because one of them said something about, you're got your 60% off of the fabric, and then, well, wait, take 50% off more and I'm like, well, how does that work? So just trying.
Yeah, well, that's what I was telling you. They had it like 70% off and marked it down to 80 cents or something. And then I took it up to the register and they gave me an additional 50% off that.
Yeah, are they going to start paying us to take the stuff? Because
I don't know.
I'll go
Shoot,
again.
Mark's truck's on its way, man. Just tell us,
I got the most random. $5. It was a bag of randomness, stuff that didn't have like yarn that didn't have the papers,
the
wrap.
labels. Yeah.
It had random ducks in there.
That's weird.
It was $5. I was like, all right, it's a mystery bag, we're just gonna go with it. And so I was sharing it today on the live, and
It's funny. I didn't get to see it because I was dyeing yarn as usual.
Yeah,
I didn't see your live today.
There's yarn in there that I probably wouldn't use because a lot of it's very woolly. And so yeah, a lot of it'll end up in giveaways anyways, but it was fun just to kind of like, you don't know what you're gonna find in there.
Yeah. Who knew you were getting ducks?
Yeah, exactly. Who knew I was gonna get some ducks and a random mushroom? I mean, why not?
You got a mushroom too. Cool.
Mushy. All right. Came home with me. Oh my goodness.
Oh, thank you so much, guys. Zoila says she enjoys sewing and needs a sewing machine. You know what, Zoila? Get a hold of me later. I have 3 sewing machines. I can't possibly use 3 sewing machines. Yeah. So that may be something I can hook you up with. And I love you and we'll work it out. Get a hold of me after, Zoila. I really do. I have Mark's deceased wife. I don't know how to put that any other way.
I think that's good.
Is that good? I don't know how to word it. I don't want to sound disrespectful.
No, but
how would I put that? I don't know how to put that. Okay, that's it. Okay. So I got her, and it was a brand new sewing machine. It was here when I moved in. Mm-hmm. I have my own sewing machine, and then I have my mom's sewing machine. So I have 3 sewing machines, and one of them is where it has like electronic, a lot of different stitches you can do, where you can, and one of them is just an everyday sewing machine, and then I think the other one's just an everyday sewing machine. So I've got 3 sewing machines, so I will hook you up. We'll figure it out. Yeah, absolutely. Get a hold of me after, and we'll figure it out. See what you're looking for exactly. I made my clothes in 12th grade on a Threadle. Oh, a treadle. Yeah, my grandma, that's what she did all of her quilts on, a treadle.
Is that the one
where you push your feet? Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's so cool. And I feel like spinning yarn is actually it's like becoming more and more popular. I'm seeing so many more people doing that.
I'm not doing it. I'm not. No.
I shouldn't tell you this, Dee, but so my friend Shy does this, right? And so on her channel, I was watching, and just for kicks, I went on Amazon and I was just looking it up and stuff. And they have like some sort of it looks like a top, it looks like if you took
it's one of those ones that just hangs,
but put a top end on it. And it comes in a little suitcase, and you get fluff, and it's like variegated fluffs, like little 8 of them, and a little book on how to do it. So,
Stop it.
Stop it. I put it on my Christmas list because I was like, well, I don't need any more projects right now. But, Christmas is one of those things where you might ask for something that you wouldn't normally ask for. So I put it on there.
Oh, Donna Squeaky, bye-bye. We'll see you. Thank you for coming.
Yay.
Oh. Yeah, that's another thing I do not want to do. I use a lot of yarn. I dye a lot of yarn. I don't need to spin a lot of yarn. I ain't got the time for that. Yeah, that's like, wow.
Yeah.
But it's so beautiful. Like I see crystals or Katie's been yarnified and all that. Oh my gosh, it's so freaking beautiful. And I would love to, me, it would be all colorful with me.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, and I just know. Drop spindle, that's what it's called. Yes, Karen. You are so informative. Thank you, Karen. Yep, yeah. Drop spindle is what that's called. I don't know how easy that is. That sounds hard to me.
I don't know, because the whole process looks very intensive, labor intensive to me when I watch it. I've seen Shy take little bits, like if you had your bag of scraps, if you had all that, and she gets this brush thing, you can actually like almost brush them back out into being
fuzz, yeah.
I'm just like, oh my gosh,
don't tell me that. I never knew that. Don't tell me that.
I'm gonna come up to my cats and with my clippers and say, "Give me some of that fluff," Come here, Merlin.
Jimmy Mojo says, if you play with a yo-yo, which I used to be an expert yo-yo player, then you can use a drop spindle and it's fun. Oh, okay. All right, good to know.
Right. Yeah.
And Kimmy says she's been using it too.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice. Spring does that too. Oh, she does the drop spindle.
The drop spindle stuff. Yeah.
I'll have to go check out what it looks like.
Oh yeah, Bridget. Bridget's another one. There's so many people that spin. I don't mean to not mention someone. Queen's Crafts by Bridget's a spinner. She also dyes and all that. I mean, she does all the things. And sorry, too slow. Oh, I don't know what that meant. Anyways, yeah, there's a lot of spinners out there. I think you're right, Frizzy, because there's a lot more people spinning. I'm noticing that. Mama G got something she wants to start spinning. I don't know if she has yet or not, but there's a lot of people that are really getting into spinning, and I'm avoiding it like the plague.
Right?
Like the plague. No.
I need to avoid any new craft, I believe, for quite a while.
Yes.
I've been watching different people. I watch Amber, and she was doing she's from JD's Crochet, but she was going through her whips the other morning, and I'm watching them, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure I probably have at least twice as many whips as she has.
The part of my room that you guys do not get to see, around this corner is like a double closet, with no wall. It's just like a big giant closet. And one whole side of it is whips.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've probably got 20 over there at least, if not more.
Right. And I don't want to start blankets and stuff yet because there are ones I want to make, but that's just even bigger projects to put on the side. So I'm working with smaller ones, which is good, but just need to I'm going to have to do some sort of a video where we just decide, or, what is it? Fix it, frog it, or
fix it, frog it, or toss it, finish it, toss it. What are we doing?
Send it to Dee. Maybe she'll add it to her.
No, don't send anything to Dee. No whips, man.
Yes.
He's got enough whips.
Right.
You're right, Zoila. I have seen a few people give away whips. Mm-hmm. That is not actually a bad idea.
Yeah.
Because, I don't, but the problem is like, I start doing a project, and let's say something happens and I can't finish it, or I get aggravated with it, and I got to put it down. It's got to go in timeout, whatever. I'll forget what pattern I was doing, or I'll forget what, tutorial I was following, or I'll forget if it was something I was just willy-nilly doing. Mm-hmm. So if I was to give away whips, I couldn't say, okay, and follow this tutorial, because that's where I couldn't tell you.
Just say good luck.
Good luck. Here it is, man. Figure it out,
Yep.
Yeah. So many whips that turn into UFOs. I know, right, Noel? Oh my gosh, yeah. But yeah, I got at least 20 whips, probably more. I'm underestimating, I think. How about you? How many you got?
Probably at least that many. I've had, a lot of the whips are actually from probably 15 years ago when I first started crocheting, because they weren't even my patterns or anything. They were patterns that didn't make sense, but I wouldn't realize that until I'd made almost the entire plushie, and only to realize that the hair makes no sense, And so now she's bald and has no face. It's just this weird little elfish girl. She's got a full dress, but that's it.
Yeah, that's it. I know, right?
Stuff like that. I know there's a sea dragon one in there. I don't know if you know what those are. They're cool.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I know what a sea dragon is.
And they have leafy sort of
wings, or
whatever you call the fins.
The fins. Yeah.
It's just a body, because all the fins were funky. And then I at the time, I didn't know how to make my own patterns up. And so it's a little thing in the bottom of a bin,
Well, see, I crochet, my mom and my grandma kind of taught me the basics when I was a kid, about, 10, 11 years old, somewhere around there. And the only thing, it was like, here, this is what you do. Okay, you're on your own kind of thing. And so I never really got taught, you know, because they were busy. They were busy ladies. They were my grandparent, my mom and my grandma used to make quilts for people. They used to reupholster furniture. They said, you know, so all those kinds of things. And they taught me how to do those things, but they never really sat down with me with crochet. And so I, you know, made a couple washcloths, some tote bags, things like that, but never really got into crochet until the pandemic. So I kind of classified that like 2020. Is that when it was?
Yeah.
Around there is when I really got serious about crochet. Up until that point, I really didn't know what I was doing other than a square, you know?
Yeah.
So crochet is actually kind of new to me.
Wow.
And it sounds weird, but it is. It's kind of new to me. Like I always had yarn, but I'd use it for 9 million different things.
Yeah.
And it was never crochet. So, yeah, it's weird. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Last year, my first 6 months crocheting, I stuck to one project at a time, no whips. I could never do that. This year, having some memory issues, I've started a bunch, but then I go back to a whip and it takes me forever to get go.
Yeah.
Yes, you know what happens with me is, okay, like for instance, right now I'm doing a mosaic blanket. Do you know that lady, Tina Thordor? I don't do last names really well. She is from, I want to say Germany, but I'm probably wrong. But anyway, she's awesome at mosaic. So she's got a crochet along going right now. And I've started, matter of fact, it's sitting right here. Here, I'll show you guys.
We'll show it. Yeah. Let's see. Ooh, pretty color.
Yeah. See, I don't know if you can. It's like teals and purples right now. But anyways, this is other than a pillow cover or a tote bag. I always make tote bags out of stuff if I don't know what I'm doing. And I've made that out of mosaic. This is my first blanket that I'm making out of mosaic. And I'm using the tonal yarn, the Bag O' Day tonal in the purple color. And then I'm using Big Twist and teal. So I'm just going back and forth with those two. But yeah, I've never really done mosaic other than little things. And so this is my first big project. So wish me luck. It's probably going to be a nightmare, but wish me luck on it. So far, I think I got it. But she does like 8 sections, and every section is a totally different kind of mosaic. So I'm almost done with the first section, and there's 8 sections. So something new I'm trying.
Right?
Yeah, like stripes of different kinds of mosaic. So wish me luck is all I can say. It's my new thing right now. So
I know I really like Alexis Sixel's stuff. It's like dark and dramatic is kind of her. She has a book out that I made the little
matter of fact, I think I have it.
You probably do. Oops,
I think I do.
But I made her mug rug. This was the only mosaic I've done yet, but I have so many more that I want to do. But she has a death moth one that is so cool. It's a square, but it's, if you can imagine an X, and then in each of the triangles is a death moth.
Oh, wow.
So cool. And she made a whole poncho out of it. So she just took that and made several of them and then made this.
And made it into a poncho. Cool.
So I'm thinking of doing it as a side, like a crossbody bag, and actually just having, you know, at least have it on the front. The back probably doesn't need to have it. Maybe you just do like the black or something on the back of it, but having it like a dark purple and black kind of.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah.
Like a inner lining with, you know, because I did buy some fabric that's looks very kind of Harry Potter and witchy, but it's not Harry Potter. It just kind of has some of the same characteristics.
I love the dark and macabre. I'm like 2 ends of the spectrum. I love the bright neon rainbow hippy dippy stuff, and then I like the macabre and the dark and, you know, all that, the witchy stuff. Because I always tell the story about how I always dressed as a witch for Halloween when I was a kid. That's what I did, you know. And so, you know, I always had this thing for witchy stuff. Now I'm not a witch, but I love witchy stuff. So, you know, I have nothing against nobody. You do whatever you want to do, but I just love the macabre and I love the crazy colors and whatever. I'm like both, you know. Exactly. So I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I just bought a cross stitch book. It's creepy cross stitch, and it's all the kind of darker, you know, has some skull stuff on it, but it's also cutesy. It has like these really cute looking ghosts and stuff. It's kind of all over. it's really
I
funny.
used to do cross stitch too. I haven't done it, God, probably in 30 years. But my
Yeah,
mom was really into cross stitch, and so she taught me how to do that,
it's
And
relaxing,
so, yeah, it is.
me, I
Yeah.
think it's nice. Oh, Talia, thank you. Yes. It's always nice to put a face to the name, right?
Yeah. You got to go over and check her out, Talia. You'll love her. Talia's one of my buddies. Yeah, you got to go over and check her out. You'll love her. Let's see. Hi, Janice. Welcome in, everybody. Sorry we couldn't say hello and everything, but we're just kind of chit-chatting. So what are you working on right now, Frizzy? What are you working on this minute?
So
Showed you mine. Show me yours.
I know, right? So I'm working on what I showed you. I was trying to find my daughter's doll that I made her. It's I blame my friend Shy because she made a video on her channel, and so I wanted to do a video on my channel, and I'm kind of also making it in a mini as well. It's called a Labubu. It's this kind of new craze that is, I don't even know where it stemmed from, but they basically are forest elves, I believe. They kind of look like a bunny rabbit, like it's wearing a bunny rabbit suit almost. And the face has this big smile with sharp teeth, though. So random. It's so, you just look up Labubu. It's very random. But right now I'm working on a mini version. He doesn't have his face, his ears, and one arm and one leg, but it's going to be really small. So,
Oh, that's so cute.
but yeah, it'll be really
Good at that, man.
fun. And I've got all the bits. Like I need to actually embroider the face. This is the facial kind of mask that gets put on. If
Oh,
you can
yeah.
imagine.
Because it
So
has like a bunny costume on, so that's the
kind of
facial.
like a bunny costume almost. And then it's got like I've got the little ears that I'm gonna have to sew on and such. So I've got everything in my little bin over here. But that's the big one I'm doing. I have a lot of whips going. I've got everybody's got a Hexy wrap cardigan that they're working on. I've
Not
got
me.
one.
Not me. Christmas before last, I had to make, was it, I can't remember, it was 13 or 16 Hexy cardigans for Christmas.
You probably never want to look at another Hexy
Oh,
cardigan.
never again in my lifetime. I'm out, man. I had friends helping me, like, oh my gosh, I had people helping me make them because I was getting, like, I had been doing them for months, and it was getting close to Christmas, and I was freaking out because I didn't want to hurt one of my grandkids' feelings because that one got them and the other one didn't, and
Yeah, you
I
can't
was
do that.
freaking out. Yeah, so I had friends helping me and all that, and I considered that Hexy hell. That's what I called it. I'm in Hexy hell. That's all there is to it. I don't never know. I'm not interested. No.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to make what I want to make is wearables for the summer. And especially now that when I
Yeah.
turned 40, the hot flash city came on. And so for me, I'm always, even when it gets cold and I'm out in flip flops, I am a California girl, that's where I was born. But yeah, tank tops, give me something cool to wear. And here I am. I got Hexy Cardi that is on the hook. Soon again, two things that way too hot,
Yeah.
not sure what I was thinking, but it is what it is.
The thing with me is I'm not, I'm way past menopause. But the thing about it is I don't know what it is with me. Like I'll be sitting there just shivering cold, put a sweater on, 5 minutes later I'm sweating. Got to take it off. On, off, on, off. Mark makes fun of me. I do it all the time. I got a blanket on my lap. Now I'm sweating. I got to take the blanket off. I mean, it's like, it's constant with me. I don't know what it is. It ain't menopause, but I don't know what it is.
I was literally sweating during my live earlier and was trying to plead with my daughter to go get me a hair tie. It was so funny.
Hurry up before I look like a mess.
Like, oh my, I'm trying to casually do this, because I'm feeling drits coming down, and I'm like, oh my gosh, how gross. I'm like, it is what it is.
I know, it's like me. I always have a hair, and I've gotten to a point now where I don't even try to hide it. It's like I got a hair.
Yeah.
God, I've always got a hair that sticks to my eyelashes or on my glasses or something.
Yeah.
I don't even care anymore.
Yeah, you get to a point. I think when I first started the channel, I was just like very anxious about it, professionalism, and it's got to be a certain way and all of that. And when you've had kids and life happens, and then you're just like, you kind of give up sometimes on those things, right? And so when my daughter comes in, I mean, I love her to death, but my goodness, there's some days where she's just like, there's some days where I'm like pulling my hair out, and I want to just tell her, honey,
Find something to do.
give mama 5
Find something
minutes.
to do.
And she just, there's some days where it's just like it ain't happening, and that today was one of those days. So we called it at about an hour because I was 50 shades of red, sweat pouring down, hot mess. Like what you see is what you get, folks.
I've done a lot of different kinds of work, over the course of my life, and it was never like I've never been fired. So it wasn't that kind of thing, but like a company would close down or the guy would retire that owned the business, and that would be it for that. I was selling Corvettes and commercial vehicles during the recession. That on commission. Yeah, that worked out well. So I've had to switch jobs, like I'd work them for a few years and I had to move on to something else. So I've got all kinds of weird jobs I've done. I've done everything from I've been a mortgage broker at a bank. I've been,
bank too. I was a teller in
okay. I drove a truck for a living for a while. I've done all kinds of stuff. I was a head of sales and marketing. I used to sell advertising for a newspaper. I saw, all kinds of it. And in all of those jobs, except for like trucking or whatever, I had to be very professional.
Right.
And it got to a point where I just couldn't anymore. It was like, this is me. And I just started being authentically me and found out that people liked that better than me being all professional.
Right.
And I thought, from that point on, forget the professional. You're getting me. This is it. Take it or leave it,
Oh my gosh. Hi, Marie. Yeah, I think it was during yesterday's live, Lizzie had gotten on VR or whatever, and her sound carries, and I yelled something. I was like, "You're being really loud. Love you."
Yeah, exactly. Shut up. I care about you.
I love you.
Yeah, I love you, man.
But it is, and it's life. There's days where I'm literally like I was huffing down the stairs because somebody locked out the door and nobody else was getting in the house. I'm like, I better go get this. Coming back up, and I'm like,
right.
At
least she's not mowing grass outside the door you're sitting at. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh, right?
This dude.
He's gonna come out one day like Risky Business, in his boxers or something with a candlestick. You're gonna be like, hey, what'd you get, people?
Yeah, no. It's like he doesn't think about it. Like, well, Mark has ADHD. Not that that's an excuse, but like he gets hyper focused on something. Yeah. And it's like, okay, what's the next step? What's the next step? What's the next step? And so he totally forgets about his environment. Like, I'm going to do a tutorial. That went right out of his head. I'm hyper fixated on getting the lawn done.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, it's got to be. I mean, I kind of get like that too, and I'll go through hours where all I'm doing is gardening. I'm like, it's getting overgrown. We're gonna get a letter from the HOA.
Right. Oh, I have the inspector dude. What do they call them? People, ordinance guys. The ordinance guy for the city or whatever. Well, this is a town. This is a township, not really a city. But anyways, he lives like 3 doors down from us. Like, across the road and 3 doors is like acres and acres around here, but he lives like 3 houses across the road, 3 houses down. And so it's like if our grass even gets a little bit, we get all nervous, because one day we were saying our granddaughter was supposed to come and mow the grass. This was after Mark's knee surgery, and I have bad legs, so that was not a possibility. So we were waiting for the granddaughter to come and mow the grass, and she got held an extra day. In the meantime, the grass is going crazy because, whatever. And the ordinance guy comes pulling in the driveway. I'm like, oh no. And he gets out and he's like, hey, how you guys doing? Because we were sitting outside. How you guys doing? What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. And by the way, you got till Tuesday to mow this grass. He gets in his car. Like,
oh, he did actually say
yes.
We're gonna say he didn't. You should have gotten out a pair of your, I don't know, like your yarn cutting scissors and just acted like you were. I'm just trimming the line.
I know exactly what. Well, Mark told him said our granddaughter's coming, but neither one of us can do it because he was still all bandaged up and whatever. And he
Yeah.
goes, well, by the way, as he's leaving, he chit chat with us, talk about this and that around the town or whatever. Gets in his car and he's got his door open. He yells over the door, "By the way, have that grass cut by Tuesday." Gets in and leaves. I'm like, you jerk.
Yeah.
You
I
know.
know. Sometimes I'm like, you've got nothing better to do with your time than to send a letter to us when we literally, like, I see
I,
other houses that are like
oh,
mounted
yeah.
with weeds. And we've got these like little tiny ones
Like
growing,
your grass is this big and you're gonna bother me.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I'm like, you're wasting paper. This is not how we save our environment.
And like I said, the guy lives 3 doors down, so on Tuesday he drove by, like,
Of
yeah,
course.
check that
Yeah.
out,
Yeah.
Oh Lord. But the granddaughter came the next day and took care of it. She was just,
Yeah.
couldn't do it for that day or whatever. Speaking of granddaughter, Mark's granddaughter graduated today, is done with school today. It was her last day.
That's
So
exciting.
that's really cool. So she's all excited. She wants to be a chiropractor.
Oh, wow.
Mark's brother's a chiropractor, and so that's kind of a thing in their family. And she
Mm,
wants to be a chiropractor, so she's going to school for that. So that's
how
really
cool.
cool. Yeah,
Congrats to her.
I know that's awesome.
Yeah. Very
Small
cool.
city, rural area. I was born in that hospital. Okay, I don't know. I must have missed something along the way. And Marie, I seen that you're having a bad day. I get you because today's not a good day for me either. So, prayers to you, my friend, and I hope that things get better for you. And I love you. I do. Let's see. Yeah, I haven't been able to catch a little bit here and there. So let's drop in Frizzy B's link. Please go over and subscribe. Let me see if I've missed anything. Let's see. I'm hugely hyper fixed gal, Desi. Yeah, Mark is super hyper fixed on things. Yeah.
Panda's in the house. Hi, Panda.
Hey, Panda. Thank you for the compliment on my weirdo tutorial. Oh, that was so nerve-wracking.
Thank you,
Loved
Panda.
your tutorial. Oh, so happy you did it. And happy Thursday. Hugs, Frizzy B. Love your earrings. Yeah,
Thank
I thought
you.
they were pretty cool
They
too.
remind me of somebody said they look like mushrooms or something. So now I wear them.
Like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
just
do.
like the bottom kind of thing. So they're quite heavy though. So as I'm doing my morning walk and stuff, it's flipping me, hitting me in the face. I'm like, oh geez, I'm just gonna go like this.
Right. I know Ganny Joe's always complaining because, like, if you wear the hook earrings, a lot of times they'll slide out. She can't keep hers in for the life of her. Mine is my nose piercing. It comes out all the time. I don't know.
Yeah. Sometimes, a lot of times with the hooks, when you buy them, they put those little plastic backers on there. Save them and just use them when you wear them because then you don't really see it, but it'll hold it in your ear.
That's not a bad idea. I always pitch those things. Yeah.
Usually pitch them too, but I've had the same problem and it's usually just the same earring. It's not like both do it equally. They don't. It's always one,
Like me, I just like these ones. These ones were my mom's, and they're silver feathers. We're Native American, and so they didn't have the plastic thing. So I just kind of pinched it, bent it weird. That's what I do to keep them in. But I'm forever losing my little piercing in my nose. It hooks on everything. If I got gloves on, if I put a shirt on, whatever, it hooks on everything.
Yeah.
Hi, Jessica. Love you back. Angela's taking off. Well, good to see you, Angela. Thanks for coming by.
Yay.
Let's see. I have enjoyed being in your live. Everyone stay safe. Thank you, Angela. I love you, girl. My tutorial was great. I don't know, guys. I know I'm like Panda told me, you're your own worst critic. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. But I just know I could do better. I think that's what it is. But this is my first real tutorial. The other ones were just little wit thingies. But this is my first real one. And I learned, number one, that I need to get my camera to come down. I had it up too high.
Oh, yeah.
So that's one thing I learned, that I need to have it come down. The other thing I need to do is when Mark's not home is when I need to tape. I learned a few lessons through this.
Next video on D's is the 5 things I've learned.
Yeah, exactly. 5 things I've learned. Yeah. Yeah, but I did the best I could with what I had to work with. We'll just put it that way. I wanted to make sure I got that poncho out there because we're doing that hippy dippy poncho contest, and you don't have to use my pattern at all. You can use whatever you want. But I wanted to get one out there that's easy, so that people that haven't made a poncho before can make it. And to me, that's the easiest poncho there is to make.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because like I'm one of those people, I can see a picture of something and I can make it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't even know where that poncho came from. Like I must have seen it somewhere. I know I didn't watch a tutorial because it was so simple. I don't think I always go for the hard tutorials. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
weirdo. I go for the hard ones, like,
Yeah.
something I got to go back and rewatch 15 times. That's the kind of
Right.
stupid stuff I do.
Yeah.
Um, but like on Pinterest or something, if I see a picture, then I'm like, oh, I got this. I
Yeah.
can do that. So that's probably where that poncho came from. I don't
Yeah.
know.
You
Or if I
probably
just figured it out for myself. I don't know where I got the idea for it. So,
yeah.
anyways, I tried. It was my first one, and there's a lot of goof ups, and I know I got to bring my camera down. You guys don't, yeah, don't worry. I will do it next time. I will definitely make it closer. I thought if it was too close, it would be too much. So I like
Oh,
raised my camera up.
yeah.
How do
Yeah.
you do your tutorials? Like, what is your setup for that?
Oh, wrong way. You can see my camera above there. So
Oh, okay.
I have like an arm that comes up and over. And then so I'll obviously take the lens off. That's the first thing you should do. But yeah, so that way when I'm working down here, um, it's easy to see. It's close enough to where you can see it, you can see what I'm doing and such. I do know a lot of people find, like I know Michael was saying, it's better almost if you can get the view of what we are as the crocheter are seeing. So I mean, I've tried different things. They have those things you wear around your neck. Just
My boobs are too big. I was bound. I got one of those, and it was just bouncing all over. I was like, oh
yeah.
no, this isn't gonna
I'm
work.
like, every time I breathe, isn't it gonna just,
Yeah,
squirt these
you
things?
breathe or you move, it just does its own thing.
Sneeze, a good sneeze or two, like flip them off of there. I don't know. But so that's better than what I used to have. When I first started, the only thing I had was a camera attached to like a tall, it could go tall tripod, and I would have it kind of trying to look over my
Over
shoulder
here.
to get that
Yeah.
view. And a lot of times like my head would get in the picture, so I'd have to edit that out, try to piecemeal it
I don't know
together.
how to edit, so it's like that's why you get what you get with me because I don't know how to edit. I've tried and I just don't even know what the heck I'm doing. I
Yeah.
mess it up every time, and I don't want to ruin the tutorial. I didn't want to ruin it by
Yeah.
so I just like, okay, this is it.
Yeah.
But so that thing that hangs down, that's an actual camera. See, I have one of those arms. It's matter of fact, Diana Crane bought it for me, which was so kind of her. It's on a stand and it has a
Mhm.
really long arm, and then it bends like you can bend it. It's
Mhm.
not it's a hinge with
Oh,
springs.
okay.
It's really nice.
Yeah.
And you can attach, your phone or a pad, a pad on it or
Mhm.
whatever. A tablet is the better word. A tablet on it or whatever. And I just been using my phone with that. I didn't realize they had cameras that could do up and over you. That's pretty cool.
Well, this one, it's a camera. It's a camera that they basically has a little screw that you can screw into the bottom of the camera. There's like a little area, and that's what holds it on there. Because that would
That's
suck if it fell off
cool.
of that. But yeah, so that's what I use. There's so many, you just have to play around with it because I've found that when I use just my table or my desk as the background, depending on what colors I'm using, sometimes it's trying to focus on that. And so I've tried using, like, I get those foam poster boards, the white ones,
Yeah.
and I'll work on top of that. So then you get the white background. So there's different ways you can play around with it.
Yeah.
But
Camera placement is the hardest part of filming a tutorial. Absolutely, Yarn Barf.
yeah.
Oh man, absolutely. Ganny Joe was saying something to you.
Did she?
Frizzy, I showed this live to Ava for her to put a face to her happy meal. Thank you
Oh,
both for sharing your love of everything crafty. Gotta go get ready. See y'all at 7 Eastern, which is 8. So
yeah.
Ganny Joe goes on in 45 minutes. We're gonna do a D raid. Let's see. Nessa, Infinitely Zero Nessa, who is one of my friends as well. She says, I have a camera, a webcam, and it screws into my stand, and my stand can also hold my phone too. Oh, that's
Yeah.
interesting. I need new equipment, quite frankly, and I can't afford it at the moment. Lord
Yeah.
have mercy. But I need my camera is getting old. My computer, I need one with Bluetooth so I can just earbud things and I don't have to do this. This drives me nuts. But I got to.
I can't tell you. I mean, those would just rip right out of my ear. I'll run into something and it just pulls it. It hurts. And I'm like, oh, geez, now I can't hear
Yeah, because
anything.
it's the plug-in kind. That's the problem. It's the plug-in kind.
Right.
You got to be right there. And if I move too much this way, it's gone.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, exactly. So Desi, you were asking about my equipment. Most of the equipment that we have has come at some point from Amazon. I need to just create, I know people can create almost it's not a shop per se, but it's almost, you basically are linking like the things you use. So if people have questions or, oh, hey, what is that camera that you're using or whatever, you can just have it all listed, like which, what's your favorite crochet hook or whatever it is, you can have them all listed so that they're automatically in one place for people to find. So I know a lot of artists that I follow do that kind of stuff. So that way, when people ask, what type of paper do you use? What type of this? You always have a place to refer them to, which is nice. So I do need to do that, but because I don't have the links now, but yeah, I'm sure we can find them. My husband would be able to find them. He's the one that gets all these contraptions.
Yeah, that's Mark too.
Mark he got me one of those things and we still haven't put it up yet. It's called a stream deck where you can just push a button and it'll switch your camera. You program it to do whatever you want, really, but you can.
Yeah, that's why I said I need an up-to-date computer because this, is old. I mean, it's a good computer. It's a fast-running computer, but it doesn't have all the bells and whistles that I need. So
yeah, exactly.
Diana D, I hope you feel better. She has a migraine. She says she's going to be lurking. I hope you feel better, girlfriend.
Yeah, feel better. Yeah. So I think I'll do that soon. I've been meaning to do that for quite some time. So if I can figure out how to, I'll do it.
Yeah, she said she was specifically meaning the overhead cam and arm. What she said, Desi, is that she'll try to put the links up so that you can go and check them out. And they mainly come from Amazon. That's where her husband buys the equipment from.
Yeah.
So I hope that answers your question. And then just go over and she'll have a link up for you to show that. And there, Zoila just dropped Frizzy's link again. And like I said, for everybody just came in or whatever, if you don't know Frizzy, she's multi-talented, a lot of fun to watch, real down to earth, real people. Hi, sweetheart.
Right.
And
photo bombers that come in. That's my son, James.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How about you?
I'm doing awesome.
I was gonna ask if you can help me get out so I can go get my friends.
I can't right now. Go see if Grampy can help you.
All right.
Love you.
Love you.
Of course. Hey, Mom, do you think you can make me a peanut butter sandwich?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hi, Tina. Good to see you.
Hi, Tina. Hello.
Yes. Yeah. It's usually is that and my daughter will come up and say, Mom, I need you to, she wanted me to make her a new channel today. And I'm on my live. I'm like,
is this the right time? Yeah, exactly. Is this the right time for us to be discussing this?
I know. I'm like, when you were thinking about coming to ask me that, were you thinking about this was a good time? No.
Yeah. I think I'll just bust in on the live and ask her to help me do some work over here. Yeah.
The Lizzie show. Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah. Mark. That's Mark all day long. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But you have to,
Deborah.
Having a good sense of humor in life and not taking things too seriously. I think those are the things.
That is a huge life lesson right there.
Yeah.
Huge. I was just talking to my daughter about that earlier today because her and my granddaughter, they go nose to nose sometimes. My granddaughter's, practically an adult. Yeah. And my daughter's like, oh, she frustrates me. And I'm like, you know what? You just got to get to a point where it's like, okay, you go over there and throw your little tantrum. And I'm going to just, you got
to know when you're done.
Let me know when you're done. We'll talk, Yeah. You are less likely to get upset if she asks you during the live stream.
Now,
This is
see, and
true.
I didn't even think of that. I
That
was
is
just
so
like,
true.
in my head, I'm just like, why is she bringing this up now? You know, one of these days, I swear, she's going to come out of the bath or something, and I'm going to be like, what is happening? Make sure you got a towel, kid. You just never know around here. Oh my gosh.
Hi, Alex. Oh, you're never late. You can watch the replay. We've had a lot of fun so far. It's been very informative too. I like it when people come on, like, and then they've got something that they can, share, and like stuff we don't know and things like that, and people can learn from it. So that's really cool. Thank you. I appreciate that. Let's see. Oh yeah, Ness is very smart. You ain't kidding.
These are all those things that you just don't think about in the moment. You're just like,
it's because you get frustrated. Like, what are you doing?
I was probably sweating so much earlier because she was literally climbing on me too. Oh my gosh. Oh, you were that kid, Nessa. You were plotting and planning. What is the best option right now? How can I get this to get done?
Yeah, let's see if I can get around this somehow. What can I do?
Right? Yes.
That was me too, actually. If I to be real about it, I was always trying to figure out some way to get away with stuff.
Which parent to ask? But now with the kids, I'm like, did you ask your dad? And he told you no. We've all done those things. So we're on to them.
When my parents weren't divorced, when I was younger, my dad, he was always an executive and whatever, Mr. Bougie. And so he was never home. He was always in Guam or, what, he was never home. So it was never that kind of situation where ask your mom, it was mom or nothing. And, half the time she was like, yeah, whatever. I'm busy. Whatever.
Just don't bug me with questions.
Yeah, exactly. So I got away with murder, to be honest with you, because she just was like, hey, I'm busy right now. I'm helping so and so. Go do, yeah, you can go to your friend's house. Little did she knows I'm hitchhiking. I'm a teenager. I'm hitchhiking 5 miles away. Oh, I was a horrible kid. I was a handful. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I know you wouldn't know it by my demeanor, but I was a handful.
Oh my God.
I'm a handful now. Nessa says she was quiet and read a lot. It makes for good programmers. Yeah, I was the one sneaky visitor and visitors in during college. Yeah, sneaking in visitors. Oh yeah, that was me all day long. We were talking, I don't remember which live I was at. I was at somebody else's live and they mentioned hitchhiking. And I'm in my 60s, right? So I hitchhiked everywhere. That was just a normal thing you did. Yeah. And now looking back, I think, oh my God, I put myself in danger every day. I was hitchhiking somewhere every day.
I was just having a conversation with, I think it was with Lizzie, maybe it was James actually, about what a hitchhiker is and how you should never.
Yeah, they don't even know it anymore.
Not to do that because you don't know. And there's been so many movies, like horror movies and stuff.
I'm into true crime, so I know all about the serial killers.
Let's expand on that. Okay.
No. It's a different world now, though, because, back then, like I said, I was the hippie kid, so, I'm on the side of the road hitchhiking, got joint in my mouth, that's just, that was me, right? And, half the time that people picked me up, this is the funny thing. Me and my girlfriends would get together and hitchhike as a group. Mm-hmm. And we would just go up and down this one road that's about 20 miles long, up and down, partying with people, up and down. We had no destination. We'd just go out there and hitchhike and hook up with people and go party with them for a while and hitchhike back, party with them people. I was a handful. Yeah.
Well, at least you weren't driving after partying, right?
So no, never. No. But I was riding in a car with a complete stranger that was partying.
We're overlooking that kind of big red flag, but that's okay.
Gigantic red flag. But, I'm glad that the kids don't do that anymore because it's a different world out there, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hitchhiked all over the place. I used to hitchhike to a park in a different town, where my friends used to hang out because I was into martial arts and stuff. And so I would hitchhike to the park to do Tai Chi with this group or, karate with another group, or I even tried jujitsu for a little while. That was a bit much. That was too much for me. That's way out of my realm.
Got all the
But
stuff, got all the garb, and then you're like, not for me.
yeah, no, I'm good, man. That's good, you know. But in later years, I got back into Tai Chi, you know, because that's a more mellow kind of meditative kind of thing to do. But if you speed it up, it's martial arts and it's a good defense, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I used to hitchhike to the park to do that, and then I would hitchhike. You know, me and my friends all get together. Let's go hitchhike and party, and that's what we do. We just hitchhike and party, and believe it or not, I went to church all the time too. And I know it's hard to believe, right? Oh man, I'm such a bad. See what I mean about scamming? I don't know who I was scamming, but anyway.
Oh my God.
But I would go like the teen group. I forget what they call it, like the teen group after church. We'd all get together and we'd all pile into this guy's station wagon. There'd be like 10 or 15 of us in this guy's station wagon, and we go burn donuts in the grass and do all this. That's just right out of church, you know.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So funny.
I was one of those kids.
My husband he's from New York and from Queens area, and he has so many crazy stories, you know, about his bike getting stolen, and then, you know, and then he had some toy that got stolen. His mom went and had a good, you know, with the shades on, and gave him the good look, and basically give me my son back his toy. And he just, I don't know, he has all these fun stories, but I can't remember half of what happened to my childhood. Yeah. I just don't remember stuff. It's just, you know.
I can remember when I was younger. It's what I did 20 minutes ago. That's my problem. Like, I can remember everything I did when I was a teenager, growing up, raising my kids, all that stuff. But what did I have for breakfast? I have no clue. Like, I don't remember eating.
You know? Maybe I didn't.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm bad like that. It's that short-term memory is my problem, not the long-term.
Yeah.
It's like my head. Mark always teases me because my head is literally filled to the brim in file cabinets stacked on top of one another of song lyrics.
Oh,
like I can remember every song I've ever heard, all the lyrics, all the woo-hoos and all that. I got it. It's all in my head. And it doesn't even matter what genre.
You're like harmonizing with yourself, you know?
Yes, exactly. And it doesn't even matter what genre of music. I mean, rap, country, heavy metal, rock, folk music. One of my favorite kinds of music is the blues. You know, it's like any genre, you name it, I know all the words.
Yeah.
I can remember that, but I can't remember what I ate for breakfast.
Yeah.
Makes no sense to me.
Yep. Oh, I was listening to a station. So I basically I won't get into it, but we traded in our Tesla. We'll just leave it at that. And I got the car that I always
probably best.
The car that I wanted, which was it's a 2013 Mini Cooper, and it's in this it's called
I love Mini Coopers. They're so cute.
It's like my eye color, you know. It's so cute. I love it. And her name is Jujubee. For short, and B because of
that. Yeah, that's my daughter Judy. That's her nickname, Jujubee.
Jujubee, yeah.
Her other nickname is Judy Fruity. They call her Judy Fruity or Jujubee. Yep. Yes. Anyway, I'm sorry when you said that. I just had to say it.
Yeah. No, I totally lost my train of thought. What were we talking about?
Oh, geez, you're asking me. I told you 5 minutes ago. I can't remember.
I know, right? Oh, maybe that was something with memory.
Oh, about your car. Your car. You were switching up your Tesla for a different car.
Oh, for the Mini Cooper. Okay. Darn it. My daughter came in, hence why my brain track of thought just got zoomed out the window. Oh my gosh. But yeah, it was a good decision. Yes, it was. I love the car. It's so cute.
I know. Matter of fact, I just seen a Mini Cooper the other day when we were driving down the highway, and I told Marcus, I've always loved them cars. I always wanted one, you know, but it never made sense because I was a teenage mom. You know, I had 4 kids by the time I was 21. It never made sense for me to buy a small car.
Yeah.
You know, so I never ended up getting one, but I always did want one.
Yeah. Oh, I've had the mom van all the way down to like I had a Hyundai Genesis coupe. I mean, I've gone all over the place with cars, but yes.
Yeah, I actually have an SUV again, which I never thought I'd have because I don't have kids and all that kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
you know, traveling and taking dogs and stuff like that. We have an MKX, a Lincoln MKX, and have kids, man. Don't worry about it. I got the dogs that run in all the time. They break through that gate, it's all over. I got them all in
Yeah.
here, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, what was these? I don't know. I lost train of thought again.
Oh, you just have to kind of go with the flow. Try to stick with the train of thought, but when it leaves, you just go with it, you know? You pick
Yeah,
up
it's like
another train.
I'll remember it at 3 a.m. and I'll go, oh yeah,
You know?
that's what that was.
Yes,
That's
we're gonna
there
go
we
to
go.
Annie Joe's. If I remember what I was gonna say, I'll put it in the chat.
And there you go. Perfect.
You know, I just can't. I just can't keep it straight. You're going to university, getting my bachelor's, and work part time. It's going to get home late, not to come home. I said, okay, bye. Yeah, yeah,
I was such a, I wasn't really defiant. Yeah, I guess I was. You know, because me and my mom used to go head to head pretty much, but not very often, you know, but like, you know, she busted me a few times pulling some shady stuff as a
yeah.
teenager, you know. But
Mhm.
when I got to be older, like I said, I just decided, you know what, I'm going to be real, take me or leave me.
Yeah,
And so from that point on, there was no need to be shady and sneaky and all that.
yeah,
I'm just, this is what I'm doing. You like it or you don't. I don't care, you know.
yeah.
I'm, you know, whatever. Yeah. So I'm pretty much go with the flow ever since that point. But yeah.
Yeah, just take it as it comes, you know.
Yeah, I had a 10 o'clock curfew. Yeah, that worked real well. I would come in at 10 o'clock and climb right out my bedroom window. Hi, Mom, I'm home, 10 o'clock. Go in my bedroom, out the bedroom window. My
Yeah.
friends would be waiting. I'll be out in a minute. To my window. It was terrible. Terrible.
Yeah, and here, you know, and we have had two-story houses here in Washington, and so when our
I love
kids were
Washington.
small, we were just freaking out about that. Like you freak out because you know what kids are like, and so you're just like, well,
Yeah.
could they get out the window? Could they? Would they be able to slide down the roof? Like what? How is it the layout? You know, Lizzie has the best room if she was going to do that because there's actually like a
Oh,
roof
God, be
right
quiet.
there, and that's dangerous if you know.
Yeah.
My mom always said she hopes that my daughter ends up being just like I like puts me through just like what I put her through kind of a thing.
Yeah, exactly. My mom said the same thing.
How could
So
you say such a thing?
oh no, believe me, my mom had every right.
Yeah, well, and
Every
yeah,
right.
I had those stories too, where you know you just lose track of time, and it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and you're still chatting with your friends, and your dad's coming down the road, in the pitch dark, looking for you because you aren't answering your phone, and because you're
My mom
chatting,
was.
you don't hear it vibrating, and you know all those fun things.
I'll
So
tell you guys a funny story. You know, my mom was real mellow. You know, my mom was an old hippie. You know, she was real mellow. She grew up a Mormon. And then she became an old hippie. And, you know, so my mom was like really mellow, laid back. You know, she didn't like, you know, come after you or nothing like that. You know, she was pretty mellow. Well, I had went on a date. She allowed me to go on this date with this guy. And it was me and him and a couple of his friends, another couple. And I think there was somebody else. Anyways, there's a whole carload of people. And we were going to the drive-in. My mom says, you have till midnight. She actually extended my curfew and gave me till midnight. So here I am. I've got till midnight. Well, the show wasn't over at midnight. I can't very well tell the guy, hey, in the middle of the show, you got to drive me home, right?
you're probably on the second feature. It's usually a double feature, right?
Exactly. And so I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do. So I went into where you buy popcorn and all that. I went in there and I called my mom. This was before cell phones. I called her and I said, Mom, the show's not over with, and I have to wait for the person that's driving to drive us home because we're with them. My mom knew them people too. And she goes, you were supposed to be here at midnight. You've got 10 minutes. I don't care what's going on. You got 10 minutes. I'm like, oh man, there's no way I'm going to make it. So at that point, it doesn't matter if I'm 5 minutes late or I'm 3 hours late, right? Because I'm late. regardless. I'm like, the crime's going to be the same. The punishment's going to be the same. I'm going to be grounded for a week. So why not enjoy it? You know, if I'm 5 minutes late, I'm grounded. If I'm an hour late, I'm grounded. So we finished watching the show and whatever. And he's like, we better get you home or whatever. And I'm like, heck no. At this point, I'm going to be grounded for a week. Let's go have some fun. You know?
Exactly. Don't rush off to that. You know?
I come walking in. See, that's the kind of teenager I was. I'm so horrible. So I come walking in the house. The whole house is dark. And I'm thinking, cool, mom's sleeping. She won't know. You know, my mom always went to bed at 10, 11 o'clock. You know, I'm thinking, cool. I go walking in. She comes out from behind the door with the broom and whacks me over there.
You. Oh,
and I was, oh my God, I was in the dark. She's chasing me down the road with the broom, trying to get me. And she's like, you get your butt in that house. You know, this is my mellow, never get in trouble, mom, you know, like whatever. She chased me with that broom and I went to an apartment complex and I ran and she stopped chasing me. And I turned around and I yelled to her, how come you're not chasing me no more? She goes, I don't want people to think I'm a child abuser. Get your butt home.
She does have her standards. Come on.
Turns around, her broom went home. I was like, I was so terrified to go home. I knew she was going to whack me, you know. But she never like spanked me or anything. That was the first time she ever done anything like that. It was like so out of character for her, you know. This is her birthday. Thanks, Mom, for the whack in the head with the broom, you know. I mean, at least it was the soft part of the broom. She hit me with the rod, you know.
Oh my gosh.
Lord.
We were part of the church back when I was a kid, and there was the whole spare the rod, spoil the child kind of a thing, that attitude.
Yeah.
So we did get spanked. It was always by my mom, but my brother was so hilarious, and he would constantly make her laugh so that she couldn't end up like
a little less than the spanking.
Like knee pads in his pants. He would stuff whatever he could down there, just, you know, and so she just would bust up laughing, and it was just
so yeah, I love your brother already, man.
Yeah, exactly. we had Tabasco on the tongue, which now I'm like, put it on my eggs, why don't you, you know? But yeah, and we would just grab an ice cube and just let it melt on the tongue, you know?
Yeah. No, my mom did spank me a couple of times, but I think I was younger. At that point, I was much older. I didn't expect that, you know, because she was never violent or anything.
You're like, Mom, you whack me?
You whacked me with a broom for real?
Yeah. 18 years old, who are you? No.
Yeah, that week of grounding turned into a month of grounding. So yeah, I was grounded for a month over that one. But, you know, I honestly wasn't doing anything wrong other than staying. And then at that point, you know, I was already so late. I knew I was in trouble. Heck, let's go and have some fun, whatever. We're driving around the park and, you know, whatever. So, you know, but yeah, I was grounded for a month after that one. Mm-hmm.
My brother and I, we had rooms next to each other, separated by, I think it was like in the house I grew up in, it was a closet, but so it wasn't it was a small one though, like, you know, a little hallway closet kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And so whenever we would get put in our rooms because we were fighting or something, she would put the timer on. And so we weren't allowed to ask like how much more time, Mom, because
she was organized.
Oh well, so yeah, she was trying everything, you know. I mean, now that as a parent, I'm like, I get it, Mom, I get it. But what would happen is, you know, we started off, we were fighting. That's why we're in our rooms. But him and I would be keeping our butt halves in our rooms, and we'd be leaning over playing cards with each other.
Sounds like something I would do. Yeah.
You know, and
I'm still in my room.
I'm still in my room. You know, we would, if we heard her come in, we were just like trying to go back, leaving the cards in the middle. I mean, obviously what we were doing, but
in my house that I grew up in, we had radiator heat, you know, the water, the heat, you know, water radiators. Okay. Yeah. Well, in between my bedroom and my brother's bedroom, there was a door on either side, and we shared a radiator. Okay. I don't know if I'm making myself clear. I don't know. Yeah. There was like this cabinet door on either side of the wall, and we shared this radiator. But around that radiator, we could talk to each other, you know, even when we were grounded and stuff. We could pass candy back and forth and sneak and whatever, you know, we could do stuff like that. So the radiator was our godsend, you know. It's like, You know, or
They're
like
all mouthful to each other. How cool is
like,
that?
say my brother wasn't grounded, I'd be like, "Hey, go get me such and such, or go make me a sandwich, or go do this." Or he'd say, "Okay, I'll be back." You go get it and sneak it through the radiator. Not that my mom was depriving me of food, but I'm just using that as an example. Like, "Hey, go grab this for me, or do me a favor and go call so and so and tell them that I'll be at the window at 10 p.m."
Oh, exactly. Oh no,
Oh, it was so bad.
we would mess with each other. Like if my brother was having a Pop-Tart or something and I knew it had come up, I would take a bite and put it back in. And then he'd come to it and it would always have a bite in it. Stuff like that. Fun times.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I was a handful, but my mom was a true blessing. She really was. She was a good mama, and I appreciate her so much. She'd get ornery with me every once in a while, but at that point, like I said, with the broom thing, that was totally out of character. I didn't expect that at all. And that's probably why she did it. Like, she was waiting in the dark behind the door. And as soon as I shut the door and took a few steps, whack, I got that broom. I was like, "Oh my God."
She thought you were
I thought it was an intruder. I didn't think it was my mom. I thought it was an intruder.
She wears like a mask or something. Oh, that would be horrifying. Can you imagine? Oh my God.
Oh God, I got a story about that. My Uncle Paul, this is so funny. I can't believe I'm telling these stories. My Uncle Paul, he was a biker dude, and he had hair down to his butt and a beard like ZZ Top, whatever. Biker dude. My cousin Paul, who was my favorite cousin, he was in Iraq and Iran. He was in that whole mess. So he's a veteran. And anyways, when he was young, me and him are close in age. I think I'm a little bit older than him, but he was like my cousin pal. You know how we all have a cousin pal, Well, he was my cousin pal. So his mom and sisters were going somewhere. I'm not sure where. And they were gone for a couple of days. I don't know if they were visiting out of town relatives or something. And his dad and him are the only ones left. And his dad told him, when you get off of school, you come right in the house and lock the door, and don't you dare go anywhere. I'll be back within, whatever the time span is. But he's like, you go in the house. Here's a key. You go in the house after school, come straight home, lock the door. So my cousin does that, but he tells him, he says, my cousin goes, "Oh, don't worry, I don't have to lock the door, but I'll beat him up." He thinks he's all tough and everything. Yeah. My uncle goes, "What would you do if there was someone broke into the house? What would you do?" "Oh, I'd beat him up, throw him out the front door, and I'd do all this, whatever." And my uncle's like, "Oh, okay." So my cousin goes to school. My uncle puts on a mask, dress all in black, and hides in the closet. I'm not kidding you. He actually did this.
Oh my gosh.
So he hides in the closet. So my cousin Paul comes home, doesn't lock the door like he was told. He comes home, whatever, and my uncle jumps out of the closet at him. My cousin goes running. Little unbeknownst to my uncle, he ran right through the window and jumped out of the house. Oh my God. Like, "Oh my God."
Did he break it? Like shattered the window on his way out?
On his way out, he ran right through the window.
Wow.
My uncle would tell that story all the time. Like, this kid, man, he ran right out the window. He goes, "I was just trying to teach him a lesson," because he had gotten home early, and he thought, "Well, let's see how he would act if there was an intruder or whatever." Yeah. I don't know why he would do that. To me, that's like psychological torture, but whatever. That's what he did. Oh, yeah, my cousin literally ran right out the window. Then I remember another time we were sitting in the front yard, and my uncle, him and his buddies are getting ready to go fishing. And he's got a fishing pole, and his line's all knotted up. So he tells my cousin Paul, he goes, "Walk down they lived in town. He's like, "Walk down the sidewalk and help me untangle this." So my cousin's walking, and my uncle looks over at his buddy, and he nips the line, right? And my uncle keeps going, "Go further, go around the block, keep going." He's sitting there. He's got like maybe 10 foot behind him. The kid's walking, walking around the block. I mean, he did all kinds of stuff like that to my cousin. Gosh. He was hilarious. He was my favorite uncle. I just loved him to death. But here's my cousin. He's got maybe 20 foot of fishing line behind him. He's really thinking he's helping his dad. He's walking around the block. And he goes walking by the house again. Keep going. Keep going.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
How is that untangling the fishing line? Oh man. Yeah, my uncle he was something, man. He was a lot of fun though. I really enjoyed him. He was great. He was a truck driver too. So Oh, and we got way off topic, didn't we? I'm
I
sorry,
know.
guys.
Yeah. Anything
Wow.
else anybody wants to know? Let us know.
Yeah, you let us know. We start talking about doing bad stuff. Or at least I did.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I just scared my parents more than anything, I would say, because I wasn't as discerning as I should be. It was mostly when I got old enough to date. That was the bad part. 17, I gave him 17 years of bliss, and then I went through my phase
Not
of
me.
craziness. So.
Not me. My stepdad sent me into AutoZone. Oh, I missed it. Panda was saying something. My stepdad sent me into AutoZone looking for blinker fluid. Oh my God. That's like snipe hunting, Blinker fluid? There is no such thing, Make you look like an idiot, Hey, do you guys got any blinker fluid?
Yeah. Blinker fluid.
Yeah. Oh yeah, my uncle was something. He used to put my cousin, and my cousin just adored his dad. He did because they, as he got older, they ended up being like best of friends.
Yeah.
And my cousin in turn is a biker as well. So my whole family's bikers. You guys know that. But he ended up being a biker as well and ended up being a veteran and all that kind of stuff. So, I love my veterans, so that was really cool. But yeah, my uncle, and I used to laugh and he'd say, "Don't say nothing." Everybody called me Dee Dee. Dee Dee, don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. I said, okay. I won't say nothing. I'm sitting there watching my cousin walk around the block when he's just dragging.
Yeah.
And he did
they lap in the block and keep going.
Yeah. Keep going. Keep going. He's acting like he's doing something to the fishbowl. Keep going. Keep going.
You're helping.
Yeah. Oh man. They used to raise oh man, what is that big giant dog with the barrel? Saint Bernards.
Oh yeah.
Saint Bernards. They used to raise Saint Bernards.
Oh, what?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. They used to always put Saint Bernards with the barrel. Yep. Well, anyways, their neighbor had a Corvette with the top that comes off my brain. Yeah. The top that comes off. And without fail, Tiny, who was gigantic, probably weighed 300 pounds, this dog, his name was Tiny. Wow. Tiny would go and sit in that guy's car, sit in the driver's seat, just sitting there, 300-pound dog, the guy would go, "Paul, man, get this dog out of my car." Like every time he took his top down, the dog would jump in his car.
That's too funny. I love that. We have a dog in the neighborhood. It's a Saint Bernard, and its name is Mouse. Just like perfect.
There you go. Yeah.
Like I love that.
That's so funny. Specs is supposed to go to his new home today, but I guess it's postponed until tomorrow at noon. So I gave him a bath, got him all ready to go, and I got all kinds of goodies for the new owner and all that stuff. But he's not going until tomorrow. So that gives me one more day with him.
They're probably already all gone, huh?
No, I'm not sure. My son's vague. He'll like call me and say, "Okay, Specs sold, whatever." And he told me I have prospects for he doesn't count his chickens. He's like me. I don't count my chickens until they hatch, Sure. Yeah. So, as far as I know, but I do know that he has said that he's done with dogs. He's going to sell the puppies that he's got and rehome his mamas after he gets them fixed and all that kind of stuff because he's going into house building. Something he's wanted to do for a while, and he's been doing dogs for like 16 years. Yeah. And he said, I want to try something different. I just want to do something different. Yeah. So he told me, he says, "Mom," he said, "if you don't mind, we can sell your puppies for half of what I normally charge, because I'm just going to, get my females fixed and rehome them and all that kind of thing." So,
wow.
Yeah. So I'm really kind of surprised actually, because he's a pretty famous dog breeder and I guess he wants to try something different, and I got his back. I told him, "If I can help you with anything, just let me know."
Yeah. You can always fall back on it because he knows what he's doing. So.
Oh yeah, everybody knows who he is. As a matter of fact, I told him he should, write a book. That's what I told him to do. Yeah. On breeding and techniques and things to watch for and how to take care of this and that and whatever. I said, "You ought to write a book." I mean, he's the top in the United States. I said, "You ought to write a book." Yeah. So he was considering that. We talked about it last night. And he said, "That's not actually a bad idea, Mom." Mm-hmm. And I said, "You should."
It's a good idea. That's what my sister-in-law always says. My husband hates it.
Yeah. But he was like, that's not a bad idea, man. I might do that, because people are constantly calling him for his knowledge, like, what do I do about this? How do I do this? How do I know when to breed? How do I know, And I said, why don't you turn that into a book, man? Sell that knowledge,
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know much about it, but it doesn't seem like that would be a book that you'd see that much out there. So it would be unique in
No.
the industry kind of thing.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, I believe it would be. And you being a book person, I thought you might, think that was
Yeah,
kind of cool.
definitely.
Yeah, I told him I think he should write a book. So
Yeah. I agree. I agree he should. It's a very marketable book. So there's a lot
yeah.
of people interested in that. So yeah.
Well, we've only got 10 minutes to Ganny Joe. Is there anything left you'd like? Like I said, if you guys aren't subscribed to Frizzy B, you need to. She's delightful. She does amigurumi. She writes children's books. She's an artist. She does cross stitch. She does wearables. She does tutorials. She does it. She's a very talented lady. Please go over and subscribe and tell her D sent you, of course. And I don't know what you're waiting for if you're not already subscribed. But anyways, is there anything you'd like to say before I get into this? If you'd like to go, you're more than welcome to. I'm going to do the word thing and pick a winner.
Oh, okay. No, thanks for hanging out with me, guys. And it's been lovely being on your channel, Dee. This was lots of fun.
I know this was fun. We'll have to do it again sometime.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, I really enjoyed having you. I was very excited to have you. And thanks for all your knowledge about all the different little things. We learned a lot from you today. And I appreciate that. And I love that little girl, Amigurumi, that with the with the bat in her pocket. She's awesome. Yeah. I love that. Did you do a tutorial for that?
I have not. No, she's the only one I've made. I will definitely do a tutorial if that's something that would be interesting.
I would like to do that. Yeah. What do you guys think? Don't you think she should do a tutorial on that? I think that's super cute.
Bye, guys. Good to see you all in the chat.
Okay. Okay. Well, all right. You can stick around if you want, or you can go, or you can do whatever. Okay. So this is what this is for my mama's birthday. Bye, Frizzy. Thank you so much for coming. This is for my mama's birthday, and what I'm giving away, and we're just going to have a word, is the Dee poncho. It's the same poncho that I made out of the red heart that Mark gave me with all the little skeins. There was like 12 or 13, something like that. Anyways, it's a pretty good sized poncho, and it's very, very colorful. And I thought I would give this away if you guys are interested. And let me go over here and let me see. We're going to share the screen. Oh, no, I got to wait. I got to go over there and refresh it. Hold on one second. Okay, here we go. Okay, now I'm going to share the screen. Okay, the word is Frizzy B. I want you guys to remember who we were talking to so you can go over and subscribe. The name is Frizzy B. Type that in, and that'll give you a chance to win my Dee poncho to celebrate my mama's heavenly birthday. And type it in as many times as you can. Type in the word Frizzy B, because that's who was just on with us. And I don't want you guys to forget. In case you got a brain like mine, you'll remember if you type it. But type in the word Frizzy B, and I'll send you that poncho. And like I said, celebration for my mama's heavenly birthday. Let's see, it looks like we got about 80 here, so we'll wait a few minutes. And I'm running out of soda too. And if you win the poncho, please get a hold of me right away at D's Creative Giveaways. It's going down below. Giveaways at gmail.com right away, because me and Mark are going to be doing mail. Tomorrow, I'm going to pick the replay winners so that can go out as well, so I can get it all out at once, because we do have a dib sale coming on the 5th, the first Thursday in June. Aw. That's okay, Zoila. You can win another one. Or you can win it and gift it to somebody else. Let's see, we got 40. We got 73 in here now. These numbers are never right, so I never know. All right, I'm going to go over to the tool, put it in one more time just to be sure. We got 42 so far. Oh, gotta love the pollen. 43. Now, this is something you can give to your grandkids or, give to someone else. Use it as a giveaway on your own channel. You know me, I don't mind that kind of stuff. If it's not up your alley, kind of thing. Yeah, anything you ever get from me, if you can use it to better your channel, give giveaways, whatever, I'm good with that. Okay, looks like we're sticking at 43. Okay, let's go. Let's see who the winner is. The Joy of Yarn. Congratulations, the Joy of Yarn. The Joy of Yarn. Congratulations. Let me stop the share screen. Did you say dib sale? Yes, I did, Linda. We're going to have it on the first Thursday of June. So June 5th. Okay, congratulations, the Joy of Yarn. I don't know what your name is, so I have to call you the Joy of Yarn. So make sure you email me at dscreativegiveaways@gmail.com and do that the sooner the better because me and Mark are going to be working on mail. Yes, you won. You're very welcome. And that's actually getting the mail right away. And then I do have a few replays, like, the mandala bonus bundle. I've got the beaded tree, the mandala, stitch marker holder. So I've got to call those as well, so those can get out in the mail. So be watching for that winner's video. Oh, you're very welcome, Frizzy. Anytime. I really enjoyed it. I'm sorry we got talking about off the wall stuff, but that's okay. And we don't have a replay giveaway for today. I don't normally do giveaways on Thursday. I do them on Saturdays. And those are the replays from my Saturdays or maybe even my members live as well. And okay, so Joy of Yarn, get a hold of me. I hope you guys enjoyed our time with Frizzy. I really did. Thank you so much for coming. And I will see you guys on Saturday, right? That's the next time. Yep. We're going over to Ganny Joe. She starts in 2 minutes. Let's go do a D-raid. So could you drop Ganny Joe's link? Thank you, Melanie. Thank you, everyone, for coming. I appreciate you guys. You know I do. Yep. Take care, sweet friends. Bye, everybody. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it. But if someone could please drop Ganny Joe's link, we're going to do a raid over there, and she starts in just a couple of minutes. Love you, too. Goodbye, my friends. And tell Ganny Joe D sent ya. We're doing a D raid. All right, I'm going back to dyeing yarn. I'll see you guys later.